Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today I'm going over the top 10 best weapons in Grand Theft Auto Online in 2024. Everything on this list is going to be super useful. It's either going to be good at taking out players, NPCs, or helping you to complete missions and stuff like that. Before we get in, drop a like if you enjoy, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you're new. Let's hop in. Starting off at number 10, we have sticky bombs. Of course, sticky bombs, insanely good. They cost $400 each, and you can hold 25 of them or 30 of them, depending on if you have completed the shooting range challenges in the bunker. So make sure you are doing that, because then you can hold 30 of them instead of 25, which is pretty useful, I'm not gonna lie. Sticky bombs can be good for many different things, whether you're throwing them from your vehicle at oppressor Mark IIs and taking them out. Very satisfying, by the way, I will just say that. You can also plant them on vehicles and then wait for your friends to get in and blow them up. You can throw them behind you on the ground, so if somebody's chasing you, you can detonate them when they get to the approximate location of them. You can use them to break into the back of armored trucks. You can, like, sticky bombs are so versatile. You can use them for so much stuff, and for the insanely cheap cost of each one at $400, you really cannot go wrong with sticky bombs. They're definitely very goated. Definitely one of the top 10 best weapons in the game. And at number 9, this thing is an absolute lifesaver. It's also a lot of fun. We have the atomizer coming in at $399,000. Very expensive. However, it can absolutely save your skin when it comes to sale missions. I can't count on one hand the amount of times that the atomizer has got a vehicle unstuck for me so that I could actually complete a sale mission. Specifically, this thing is very good at getting the pounder custom from the nightclub unstuck, especially if you decide to go for some sort of a shortcut and get stuck in trees or something of the sort. I may or may not have quite a bit of experience doing that, but the atomizer is definitely extremely clutch for getting vehicles out of locations where you cannot just drive them out of. If you get caught in a tree, whatever it is, you get high centered on something. The atomizer is just, it's a good thing to own. It's definitely going to be one of your best friends to own in GTA Online, especially if you're a newer player too. It's definitely one of the things that I would prioritize buying sooner than later, for sure. And then of course it is also very just fun to use, especially against your friends or against other players. You can shoot it at their feet and it'll launch them way up in the air. The atomizer just generally is a pretty awesome weapon, and it is definitely extremely expensive. It's actually the most expensive weapon on this entire list, which is kind of crazy, but it is also one of the more useful ones, I would say, for sure. So that's it for the atomizer at number 9. Let's talk about number 8. Now at number 8, we have the special carbine for $14,750. Now this is not the Mark II variant, and the reason for that is because the original special carbine can be bought from any level, and you can also put a 100 round drum mag on it as well, which is going to allow you to not have to reload so often like you will with most of the other guns in the game, until you unlock things like the machine gun or the combat MG, for example. So the special carbine definitely gets you a very high capacity magazine, and it also outputs a huge amount of damage. You can put a suppressor on it, grip, scope, all that sort of stuff. The special carbine is definitely one of the best go-to weapons when you're starting out in GTA Online as a low level, because you can get this from literally level 1 as long as you have the money. So for that reason, it is definitely very clutch, very good weapon, does a lot of damage, huge magazine. What is not to like about the special carbine? Number 7, we have the grenade launcher coming in at $32,400. The grenade launcher is an extremely useful weapon for PvP and for against NPCs as well, or against people in vehicles, because it is obviously explosive, and as soon as grenades make contact with a vehicle, they will explode. However, the other thing that's very useful about the grenade launcher is that you can bounce grenades around corners to take out NPCs or players alike, and it's going to be really useful for that sort of thing for you guys. If you've never used the grenade launcher before, you definitely got to try this out, particularly when there's NPCs that are, causing you trouble in cover or whatever. You can usually bounce a grenade and somehow hit them. Whether that's bouncing it around the corner, whether that's bouncing it off of another corner and then it going around, it's just pretty useful, and it's relatively cheap, and the ammo is relatively cheap for it as well, and you do get 20 rounds for it, so not too bad. It's definitely a pretty good weapon, definitely something that I would recommend looking into for sure. Next up, we have the pump shotgun Mark II coming in at $82,500. Now, formally you would have to own an MOC or an Avenger to do this. However, there is a free free Mark II weapon workshop in the Freak Shop, where you can just take your regular pump shotgun, go there and upgrade it for about 82 grand. And you're going to get the Mark II variant of it. And then through bunker research, you can unlock explosive rounds for this thing, which makes it super crazy. It shoots explosive rounds at close range, dealing an insane amount of damage, being able to take out vehicles, NPCs, players, all of that sort of stuff. And if you don't take them out in one shot by some miracle, they will be thrown onto the ground, where you can easily get out another gun and finish them off, or just shoot them again with the pump shotgun Mark II. But the explosive ammo for this thing is really insane. Even without explosive ammo, the Mark II variant of the pump shotgun is just crazy on its own, but especially with that explosive ammo, this thing is absolutely bonkers. Next up at number 5, we got the AP pistol, coming in at $1,000, super cheap, and definitely the best drive-by weapon in the entire game. This thing is crazy good when it comes to doing drive-bys in GTA Online. Way better than the micro SMG. The first shot accuracy on every gun in GTA is a thing. It will always be 100% accurate, but with the AP pistol, it just does so much more damage, I find. And honestly, even if you are spam firing it, I feel like the AP pistol is a lot more accurate than the micro SMG. Could just be me, could be personal preference, but I think the AP pistol is crazy. Plus, you can also get a 36 round magazine for it. Put the little extendo on that shit and just go. Like, this thing is crazy good. AP pistol, definitely one of the best weapons in the entire game when it comes to drive-bys and stuff like that. And next up, number 4, we got another shotgun, and this is a personal favorite of mine. This is the assault shotgun, coming in at $1,500. The assault shotgun is crazy. I remember when I first got this thing, I was tearing it up on the Xbox 360. People would run into me in GTA Online in like an alleyway or something like that. I remember I was getting into a sniping, fight with this dude, and I got up close with the assault shotgun. I just tore him apart. You put the 32 round drum mag on this thing as opposed to the 8 round clip, and the 32 round drum mag is crazy. And if you put a suppressor on it too, even though it nerfs the range, this thing sounds insane when you shoot it, which I think is awesome. It's also fully automatic, so that's pretty crazy too. Overall, the assault shotgun basically is the best close range weapon in the entire game, in my opinion. Pump shotgun Mark II, you could say, but if you miss your first shot, they're gonna have a pretty big advantage on you. That's why you just take the assault shotgun and you walk around the corner spam firing, and there's basically no way you lose. It's insane. Definitely pick up an assault shotgun if you've never had one before. Next up, number 3, we got the RPG, coming in at $6,500. Now, this is definitely going to be one of the more expensive weapons in the game to maintain as far as the ammo goes, because the ammo is a little bit on the expensive side for it. However, the RPG is extremely good, as you would probably assume it is. It is a rocket launcher, rocket propelled grenade launcher, in fact, and it's crazy good. It has a very long range. The rocket does not fire super quick with it, but you don't really want to be firing this thing at like a super long range anyways. But the explosive radius of the RPG is crazy. So in PvP, this thing is super useful. If you got somebody sitting behind cover, if you hit on the other side of the cover, they're pretty much done no matter what. Like, this thing is insanely good. They will have a bit of time to move because of that, rocket traveling pretty slowly, but overall the RPG is just insane. It's good against NPCs, players, helicopters, jets, whatever you want to use it against. You can figure out a way to do it and to time it, and if you get really good at it, this is definitely one of the more OP weapons in the game for sure. Next up, number 2, we got the Combat MG Mark II, coming in at $119,000. This thing is crazy upgradable, and it's also insanely good just as a stock variant of the regular Combat MG. Now, you can upgrade this at the Freak Shop, like I mentioned, again, for free. You don't have to buy anything, just go to the Freak Shop. There's a Mark II weapon bench there. Just go ahead and start upgrading it. It will cost you $119,000 though, so do keep that in mind. And for some of the better upgrades for it, you will need to complete your bunker research to get things like the heavy barrel, for example, which is going to just increase the damage output of this weapon. Now, this weapon is the highest damage per second weapon in the game, other than like the minigun. As far as like an actual like rifle goes, this thing beats every other thing in the game. It will kill somebody in less shots than anything else, except for sniper rifles and like the minigun, like I said. But it's crazy good. And also another good feature about it is if you play in an auto aim lobby, you can actually lock onto stuff with the Combat MG Mark II, whereas you can't with the minigun. So this thing is really, really good. It's got a long range as well, so that helps. It looks crazy too, I must say. Overall, definitely the second best weapon in GTA Online. Now for some dishonorable mentions, only because tryhards love to use these two things, we got the homing launcher at $15,500. This thing shoots the rockets really fast, and it's all fine and dandy, but it's actually not really that good as like an actual homing launcher to lock onto jets and helicopters and stuff like that. A lot of the times the missiles are going to miss, so tryhards have figured out though that the homing launcher rockets fire faster than the RPG and fly through the air faster, so they use this to spam fire homing launchers, and it's really annoying to play against. So you can say skill issue, I don't care if you're some GTA nerd tryhard, you're broke, whatever, shut up. And then of course we also have another dishonorable mention, the marksman rifle, coming in at $15,750. The marksman rifle is another favorite of tryhards. Now I must say it is very good against NPCs and it is very good against players, but playing against somebody who's a marksman rifle nerd definitely sucks, just because they can get so many shots down range in comparison to somebody who's going to take less shots but hopefully be a little bit more accurate with something like the heavy sniper or just any real sniper rifle in the game. Marksman rifle is very good, undoubtedly. It is just really annoying to run into a player who's spamming it. Usually these guys are pretty tryhard, and just generally you want to stay away from them, so that's why I don't like it. But don't get me wrong, it is still a very good weapon. And at number 1, we of course have the Heavy Sniper Mark II, coming in at $165,375. Quite on the expensive side. You can take the regular Heavy Sniper, go again to the Freak Shop, upgrade it to the Mark II variant. This thing's also crazy because through bunker research you can unlock all kinds of different stuff for it, like the thermal scope, for example, the heavy barrel. You can also get armor piercing rounds as well as explosive rounds, which are very popular. Explosive rounds are a huge pain in the ass to play against. They will knock you to the ground if you get hit by them, and then usually you'll get finished off by a marksman rifle with some tryhard obviously shooting them. But the Heavy Sniper Mark II is insane. It will one-shot players anything torso up. It's crazy good. Depending on the scope you have as well, you can zoom in super far with this thing. I used to love the thermal scope personally, but the advanced scope I have kind of seen the light. It is just a little bit better because of the extra range you get, but either of them are really good. Overall, the Heavy Sniper Mark II is definitely one of the most satisfying weapons to use in Grand Theft Auto Online, just because of the one-shot potential that it does have. Anyway guys, there you have it. Those are my picks for the top 10 weapons in Grand Theft Auto Online in 2024. Let me know what you thought on my list in the comments down below. Do you think I missed any weapons? What would you switch out on my list for another weapon? Leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't, of course. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Peace.